Good evening and welcome to the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station. I'm your host, Roman. We have a great show planned for you today, but first, the forecast from our intellectualradio.com weather center today, partly sunny, turning to cloudy skies and warm, melting snow conditions. So watch out for large puddles of water and areas of flooding, including slick roads conditions. High 50 degrees. Tonight, cloudy with a chance of a shower, mild. Please allow extra time for your commute. Of standing water and some flooding conditions in some areas, low 46 degrees. Tuesday, you got to turn in your winter coats and hats and scarves and start wearing your short sleeves shirts and shorts because guess what? Even though it's cloudy, it will be warm, high 62 degrees. Tomorrow night, it's the rain again, cloudy with a chance of a shower and a thunderstorm here and there in areas, mild, low 46 degrees. Wednesday, morning, thunderstorms, cloudy, high near 70 degrees. Thursday, strong thunderstorms throughout the day in areas and warm. Please be on the lookout for a weather watch or warning. Those storms will be severe. High 64 degrees on Friday. Periods of morning showers. Back to wearing a jacket. Cool, windy, high near 50 degrees. Over the weekend, Saturday, 54 degrees. Easter Sunday, partly sunny, warm, 62 degrees. The Drive at 5 is also part of the new Monday night lineup, starting with a new show called Becoming Dateable at 12 p.m. The Great Entrepreneurs at 6 p.m., New Black Leadership at 7 p.m., Dream Makers at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., Chronicles of Rom, and The Raw Checklist at 10 p.m. Also, The Drive at 5 is also part of the fabulous 5 at 5, only on intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station. The Drive at 5 is also sponsored by Joshua Flynn and Associates Insurance. Get your insurance today. Today, my guests are Black female entrepreneurs who is making a huge impact on the Chicago Black entrepreneurial community and scene. My first guest is an entrepreneur and CEO of Joy Doll Collection. Please give a Drive at 5 welcome to Latrice Joy Russell. Welcome to the Drive.
Hi, everyone. What's going on out there? Hope everyone is driving safely.
I hope so too. How are you today?
I am doing well, doing well. Battled all of the slush and snow and survived it actually over the weekend, so we're good.
So please give intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station your background.
Well, basically, my name is Latrice Joy Russell, as that's been stated. Um, I'm a graduate of Clark Atlanta University, Oak Forest High School here in Chicago. Created Joy Doll back in 2010. I wanted to have a doll. I wanted to have something that I could give back to motivate and inspire the next generation, thus birthing the Joy Doll, which is a motivational speaking doll that actually speaks to motivate and inspire little girls. She has several voice boxes: healthy eating, anti-bullying, Bible scriptures, affirmations, anything that would inspire a little girl while she's playing.
So, what inspired you to create Joy Doll Collection?
Well, growing up, I've always been a person whom people look to for inspiration or someone to just give them an encouraging word or just a word of wisdom or advice since the age of 4. I've been looked upon for these types of affirmations to other people. So I figured, why not put it in a doll? One day we were sitting home. My stepfather looked at me and laughed. Oh, you look like a little doll. We need to make a doll out of you because I only stand at 4 feet 8, and I get dolled up all the time. So I figured, why not make a doll? And let's make it where she speaks. Let's make it with Bible scriptures. Well, let's make it where she has interchangeable voice boxes because I didn't want to be locked into only one market. I wanted her to have educational components. So that's basically was the brainchild of a Joy Doll, was to have something that was universal, that could reach all children, all races, all nationalities, but yet can teach them of various topics, such as the anti-bullying, cyber safety, things that they need to know in today's society.
You added an inspiration component to the doll to uplift young Black women. Why you think it is important to insert inspirational quotes inside the doll to motivate them?
Well, basically, I have my degree in psychology. So with that being said, I understand that as a child, what you constantly hear as you grow up that resonates with you. Even if you want to take it biblical, scientifically, it's always stated that whatever a person learns while they're young, it sticks with them as they grow up. So every day a person may not hear encouragement from their parent or aunt or whomever their caregiver is. But if you're playing with your doll and it's telling you you're beautiful, you're great, you can be successful, you can defeat all odds, things like that, then you'll grow up believing these things. You'll have this confidence that you actually built within yourself from playing with your dolly.
So, do you find out more and more young black women
Hmm.
today, especially young black women
Hmm.
like adolescents and stuff? You hear the suicide rates and
Yes.
you hear that. Do you think that's kind of like a motivational keeper to inspire them to say, hey, you got to keep your head up?
Yes. No matter what you're going through, you get to tomorrow. The end, nothing is the end of the world but the end of the world itself. So with the doll, you may have some instances, you may have some situations that are considered bullying, or situations where a person is talking about you. But if you can hold your head up, no matter what a person, what they're saying to you, won't affect you on a psychological level where your spirit is actually tainted. So if you're hearing this with your doll, you already have this character built. Growing up, bullying for us, it wasn't as bad as it is today. Now you have the cyberbullying. Now you have it to the point where it's extreme. Growing up, someone said, "Oh, you got a big nose." Okay, I would just come back, "Oh, you got big ears." Nowadays, it's getting a little more severe. People are actually putting their hands on each other. People are actually going online and doing things like that. So with the Joy doll, she can show, like, treat others how you want to be treated. Be careful because you never know. You may need that person. Growing up, I was always taught, be careful how you entertain a stranger because you just may be entertaining an angel. Not necessarily someone with the big halo and the big wings, but that person could be the next destiny for you. They may have some connections to get you where you want to get in life. And all they can remember is when you were meeting. And I state this all the time when I go into the schools talking to students about being kind to one another, minding their matters, treating people accordingly.
So, treating them accordingly how you want to be treated, correct?
Exactly, the golden rule. I think if we got back to that, you don't want to be talked about, so why talking about someone else? You don't want a negative picture posted of you, why post something to someone else negative? So if we start now with the children while they're young, and they'll have these concepts, somewhere along the line, there was a disconnect with that between my generation and the younger generation. So I'm only 32. However, the 17, 18-year-olds, 16, the middle schoolers, it's been a disconnect with that. Like, be mindful of what you say, how you treat people,
Period.
period.
So, how you convert that with the doll here, with what you're saying, and in reference to the upbringing, like back in the 80s,
Hmm.
70s, 80s, 90s. Maybe you can stretch it to the early 2000s. You can
Hmm.
see people carrying their doll wherever they go.
Right.
You don't see that anymore. I mean, how can you encourage that element back?
Well, you know, there once upon a time that was the biggest thing. Your dolly. There's another company that you all have heard of. I'm sure, American Girls. Children had their dolls all the time, going places, going here and there with the dolls, and I just figured that if you're constantly playing with your doll, why not have it where it's speaking to you and encouraging you? So with Joy Doll, if they're hearing, okay, I need to be a certain way, or if it's cyber safety, I'm not going to tell someone that I'm not at home, or my mom is not here, or whatever the case may be. If you're hearing these life fundamental lessons, it will intrigue you to want this doll, to want to play, to want to constantly hear, well, what is she going to say today? Because each voice box has 8 to 10 phrases, up to a minute long. So each time you press it, you hear something different. It's in like a rotation. So I figure if we just continually push the envelope and continue branding and letting Joy Doll know, because she's a double entendre. My name is Joy, but she's going to bring joy to children. So she's the Joy Doll.
I see the connection there. So, why do you think it is important to have a black doll that is a reflection of themselves by a black creator? Some people would say, you know what, I prefer a white doll. There's been testing on
Hmm.
Good Morning America, 2020, the
Hmm.
list goes on and on, where they have a black doll and a white doll, and they
Correct.
always choose the white one or the Hispanic one
Hmm.
because of the coloration.
Hmm.
Why do you think is this important, to have a reflection of themselves?
Well, the psychologist in me has studied that actual testing over and over again, where they took a child in the room with the dolls and had her pick and choose. I figure if you see a doll that looks like you, that has a certain beauty, that has a certain radiation of, okay, this is me and I am this doll, a child would can identify with that. Not just necessarily African American, but you got the Latin children that may feel left out. You may have Asian children feeling left out, because we have several different cultures that joy dot represents. But basically, it's my face and all these different features. So a child can see, okay, this doll is beautiful, and yet she's going to encourage me, because beauty doesn't just come from outside; it comes from within. So what you believe about yourself, that confidence will radiate. And you see this doll that's like, okay, she's beautiful. She got nice hair that I can comb and play with. Why not? I look up to Jackie Ornice. She's the creator of the first African American doll, the Patty Joe doll, and the doll went viral. Even other nationalities wanted to identify and play with the Patty Joe doll. So as long as you put it out there, letting people know that you have an African American doll, or a doll that can be Latin, or a doll that can be Asian and other multiple minorities, a child wouldn't mind playing. I have crossed barriers. I've been to New York Fashion Week with her. I've been to Teen Choice Awards out in LA, Kid Choice Awards. And not only is she a popular hit with African American children, but as well as Caucasian, Latin. So it became that multicultural movement that I wanted to be. You know, every child can look at the Joy doll and say, I want her in whichever nationality, because she's beautiful.
So you said you have not only black, but you
Hmm.
have other nationalities.
Correct.
So could you describe that to us?
Well, I have a doll that's biracial.
Okay.
Um, I have a doll that's Caucasian with the blonde hair, blue eyes. I have her with brown hair as a brunette with brown eyes. I have her also with the olive skin with the black hair that can cross over as Asian or Hispanic. So I wanted it multicultural, because I feel that if you see this as a child, if we can all learn, because sometimes children may not get a chance to be around another nationality unless it's put in front of them. You got African American children that has never had a chance to be around Caucasian children. You have Caucasian children that's never been around Latin or Black children. So in my events, Joy Dow fashion shows and things like that, I bring them all together and they get to see this is an opportunity to be a chance to get to know someone that I wouldn't normally cross paths with, to see, okay, this world is made of all people, but as an African American, I can stand strong amongst them as well, because I'm just as beautiful, or I'm just as talented and intelligent as anyone else.
So it builds up their self esteem
Correct.
and saying that, oh, okay, this is a reflection of me.
Correct.
So I don't mind playing with it. You mentioned American Doll.
Yes.
So is this like a similarity, or not a similarity,
Hmm.
but kind of like, okay, kind of like a brand? So it is kind of like, as soon as I purchase the doll,
Hmm.
I can purchase the necessities along with it. Is that is that a correct assessment or no?
Well, with Joy Doll, she comes with different clothes that you can buy. She comes with the different voice boxes. And then she comes with the difference between her and American Girl, Joy Doll speaks. And not
Mhm.
only that, Joy Doll doesn't necessarily get down to every single feature to just like me, but she has those common features that you can say, okay, I have red hair and I have, you know, peach skin, or I'm African American, brown hair, a pretty skin tone that has melanin. So you can have any doll that identifies with you, but not necessarily. American Girl is a major chain, and I've studied their story before with Miss Pleasant, right here in Wisconsin. She created that, and it took her 30 years to get where she was at with American Girl. So, and with that, she's more of a historical side of things. You got the books, you got things like that. With Joy Doll, she's more of a encourager. She's more of a motivational force. She's more of a, I'm going to encourage you while you play, because you're hearing what I'm saying to you. So that would be my major difference between the two.
What is the response you are getting regarding the doll, the Joy doll in the black community?
Well, as far as the African American community, people are excited about her. They're happy that, for one, that an African American actually came up with this concept. In addition to that, they see something that their child can identify with. That not only are they playing and passing time with it, but they're being encouraged. They're being uplifted.
Do you think that some people are saying it's long overdue for something like this?
Yes, people do say we've been needing a doll like this. We needed a doll that looked like us, sound like us. We needed a doll that basically can cross racial barriers that was created by us. So yes, I believe it's long overdue. A lot of people have told me that, because in addition to Joy Doll, I've also have a Hairless doll for children with cancer that I went into the hospitals giving those dolls away to encourage those children. So I,
Which is also multiracial,
which
correct?
is also multiracial, yes. So people have been excited. I've had so many well wishes. A lot of people are trying to support in whichever way they can, whether it's sharing the link, whether it's telling a friend, coming out to an event that I had. The reception has been wonderful the past 9 years, because November will make 9 years.
9 years since you've been doing this?
Yes,
And the
2010 is when I began this, November of 2010.
so what's the encouragement that you receive, like when you saying I'm going full fledged with this?
Uh-huh.
When they say go ahead, is
Oh,
the world is yours.
the encouragement that I get is seeing a child face light up when she plays with it, or I've had children have major tantrums to get the doll. Like, oh my goodness, I want my dolly. Like those type of things that this child has been touched by this doll already before they even really play with it. They run up to the table. They almost bum rush my table when I have my setups. I want my doll, mom, dad, whomever. Some of the conventions that I've done, the parents, the children, they all alike. Parents like, I need this for my daughter. I need this for my niece. I need this for my little cousin. So that's the type of things that makes me feel great, that I know that I'm making a difference in someone's life.
Which doll you identify the most and why?
Which doll do I identify with the most? As far as me, I would have to say that doll that does the Bible scriptures and affirmations. Because I'm always this positive person. I'm always this person that got something good to say, something positive to tell someone, trying to encourage them to move forward, to press for what they want in life. So I'd have to say the doll that affirmations in the Bible scriptures, because I'm a church girl. I grew up in church all my life. My great grandmother's the late Mother Constable York. From there, I ended up growing up at Fellowship under Pastor Charles Jenkins. After that, I'm currently attending Family Christian Center. So church has always been a part of my life. So that's why I'm able to identify with the Christian aspect of her and the motivational aspect of her.
What is the saying or biblical reference that best describe your struggles in entrepreneurship that would inspire young Black women who may want to create a toy
Mhm.
for other Black women to explore? So imagine yourself listening to IntellectualRadio.com right now
Mhm.
and saying, you know what, I'm inspired by what you're doing. I
Mhm.
want to create something different. Something that's inspirational too. So
I would have
what
to say Mark 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Followed by, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. With that being said, find your path. Stick with it, whatever it may be, whether it's a blog, whether it's a talk show, whether it's a doll, whether it's a fashion line, stick to it. And if you know that it's God's given vision for you, know that he's going to sustain you through it all. I've known him to be Jehovah Jireh, which means my provider, on so many levels. Things do get rough. However, there's always a ram in the bush. There's always something that'll happen that'll catapult me to the next level. So my encouragement to the listeners, stick with it. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on what you know is your dream. You may have that 9 to 5 now. Use that 9 to 5 as a vehicle to push you and to fund your dream. Things like that. So never give up. So I would have to say Mark 6:33. Seek God. Seek ye first the kingdom.
Now, you brought one of your dolls here.
Hmm.
So, describe the doll, the name of the doll, and you're going to do a demonstration. So, go right
Okay.
ahead.
Well, it's the Joy doll.
Okay.
And she has her little fashion and her little bedazzled shoes. So I kept her fashionable. So
Okay.
a child would want to play. I kept it with the pinks, the purples, and the green, the bright colors. So she got her little jeweled shirt on. And this particular doll has a message. I love you so much. So she loves you so much. You are a winner.
Okay.
You are so beautiful. And she just continuously says things like that to affirm you and who you should be to yourself. You're beautiful. I am beautiful. I'm strong. I am strong. So that's Joy Doll, the affirmation version of her.
So that's that in a nutshell. So, let's say if I get the doll, they have to go online and get the
Yes,
accessories, correct?
yes, they could get when they go online. They can get the doll.
Hmm.
Her joydoll.com, which is joydoll.com. And once you buy her, you get to choose a voice box, either affirmation or Bible scriptures. Then other voice boxes are available once you purchase the doll.
But let's say I want to do something in my voice. Um, let's say I want to hear Earl Winfrey voice, and I squeeze it, and he's like, "Roman, get close to the mic," or something like that. Is that possible?
Yes, we can customize it. You would have to send us the voice bite that you would want. And in today's technology, you can do that simply on your iPhone. Send me the voice memo. Say, Joy, I want this in my doll. One little girl actually read herself a book through her dolly. And it was cute because she was talking about baked chicken and cooking and all the because she's an aspiring chef. So I was able to do that for her. So yes, you can customize it. You can have her say, "Hi, the drive at 5 with Roman Morrow." She could actually say that as well in a little girl's voice. It's actually my little sister's voice when she
Oh,
was a
okay.
little girl. So
So please give intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station where they can get in contact with you, how they can purchase the doll, and whatever.
okay, well, basically you guys can find me at latricejoyrussell.com as well as joydoll.com. We also have social media. IG is Latrice Joy Russell. That's Latrice Latrece, Joy Joi, Russell Russell.com. And then Joy Doll is Joy Joi_DOLL on Instagram as well as Facebook.
Now, on Intellectual Radio, since you're here on the Drive at 5, we got this sister Facebook called Black Products and Black Services that
Mhm.
you can advertise for free. And, we can put all the information and stuff like that. It's free for you to use,
Mhm.
courtesy of Earl Winfrey and the intellectualradio.com family.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Don't be a stranger to the Drive at
I
5.
sure won't.
All
I'll
right.
definitely be back.
Oh, okay. Coming up next, when we come back on the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station, she invented a game for not only for family, friends, but for networking and bringing people together. Find out more when we come back on the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com. And we're back on the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeartRadio station, sponsored by Joshua Flynn and Associates Insurance. Get your insurance. My next guest is an entrepreneur that created a game that is fun for the whole family, strangers, associates, and business networking parties. The game is called Name That Jam. The creator and CEO is Mayani Payton, is here to describe this new craze going on in Chicago scene, bars, and the list goes on and on. Welcome to the Drive.
Thank you. I just feel like the mic is here. Thank you.
Please give intellectualradio.com/iHeartRadio station your background.
Oh, okay. My name is Mayani Payton, and I'm a filmmaker. Well, let's say aspiring still, but I came up with this idea, me and my fiance, back in 2017. And the thing of it is that we had this space. He's a musician as well as he would coordinate parties and such. And so we had this space, and one of the parties had been, I guess, they're supposed to be regularly returning, and they didn't. And he said, I have this space. What can I do with it? And I was like, well, it'd be fun to have something where we could actually introduce everyone to come in and still be music related and feature it as a show and kind of put both of our genius together to make this thing happen. And so I was like, why don't we do a game show? Something that's fun and energetic and people can kind of get out and see something different. Because I don't think, aside from the Bozo show, I don't think there's ever been a game show here in Chicago. So we said, why don't we go ahead and make that happen? And so we went ahead and had our first show at this place where he was hosting these different parties. And it was a good turnout. One of our first guests was Mike Love. So it was really fun to have them all there. And everybody just had a blast with it. So we just kept it going.
So what that inspired you to come up with the Name That Jam? How you kind of like say, hey, I want to bring everybody together with this, or say there's something to this, the aha moment type of thing.
Oh, okay, well, the thing of it was, okay, so I'll say for this place that he had, they mainly were hosting dance parties like raves and things of that nature, or live talent groups, bands and things of that nature. So it was always something where it was always dance incorporated. So the thing with Name That Jam,
Black people have raves.
No, that's the thing of it. But and if they do, I'm not really familiar with them. I'm sure I'm sure a few have attended, but I don't know if we have raves in general. But at this particular area, it was like up north for one thing.
Oh, okay,
right,
okay.
So,
that
right.
explains it. But I was thinking you're saying on the south side. I was like,
right. If we can bring a rave to Chicago to the south side, that'd be fun too, right?
Yeah. Well,
hey,
good luck on that.
It might happen, right? So, but the thing of it was to kind of make it where it was more so not just the game itself, but we really wanted to put back in that element of like Soul Train, where you have local artists. We have a lot of bands here in Chicago who do dance music, who do a lot of entertainment. And we wanted to basically have that crowd there to also feature these artists too. So that was another piece of that how we made up Name That Jam. But the opener and the icebreaker really was Name That Jam. And so because we had that idea, we decided to go ahead and keep pushing it and making it happen. So it has. I mean, we are. You could definitely check out a show anytime on Tuesdays at the Woodline Cafe, which is on 1200 East 79th Street. And then we have our big money game, which is every third Thursday of the month. And that's hosted at Heritage Cafe. And they're located at 1849 East 79th Street. And so these are all kind of like evening games. I know people say, oh, but it's a Tuesday. I usually have to go to work. But we only there from like 7 to 9, for one. So if you want to just peek in, you can always check it out. And same thing with Heritage. If you're there, I think that goes from 6 to 9. But the same thing, you always come in, check it out. They're always open and free. So it's kind of like you just come in and enjoy yourself with it.
So describe Name That Jam to us. I mean, describe it, because just in case people not familiar with it, is it kind of similar to,
it's made up of a few different things. One is, of course, Name That Tune. The old was a 1970 show that was great back then. But the funny thing with Name That Tune is, of course, they had a full band that would play just a little bit of a song for you to guess it, right? Well, we have our songs already laid out. So it's more so laid out like a Jeopardy, where you pick one and it flips over and you find out what it is and you hear that song. Um, and then we'll say also, I will say more so like The Price is Right, in the sense of we get our contestants based on the audience. So hey, come on, make this happen, play the game. And everyone who plays, I mean, at first everybody's a little shy, but once they get into it, it's like, oh, this is great. When you all doing it again, we got to come out. And then, of course, the after part, because you hear so much good music, you can't help but want to be like, oh, okay, let's get the party rolling. Let's get the dance and everything else. So that's the part where the Soul Train part kind of kicks in a little bit. But Name That Jam has 3 different levels to it. The first level is Name That Jam, in which you have to, a little bit of a snippet of a song is played and you have to guess the name of the song. Then there's Name That Artist, which is our second part, and you have to name the artist based on the snippet of a song as well. Then the third part is Finish That Lyric. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know about the first 2, but I've seen people win the game based on Finish That Lyric alone. It's like, Jay-Z, I know everything about Jay-Z. And so you start playing it, and I mean, they go from 0 to 350 points and like that. So it's, and pretty much to Finish That Lyric, a certain amount of the song is played, and then you have to finish off whatever that lyric is. And you have to do it correctly. It can't be roundabout. So a lot of people
A roundabout. I mean, you can't give them a curve or something.
Yes, it all depends. It's
because
like, we'll say,
some people.
right.
Okay, let's say. Okay, let's say lyrically challenged like I am.
Okay.
Okay, you remember "Oh Happy Day"?
Okay.
Okay. There's a lyric that I always mess up, and it was like when Jesus wash, but it's actually when Jesus. Is it Jesus wash or Jesus watch? Is Jesus wash, or it's like "Oh Happy Day" when Jesus watch or wash?
Washed.
W-
When Jesus washed my sins away. I don't think
Wash or watch?
Why would Jesus watch your sins?
Well,
I just can't see him just sitting there watching your sins.
well, that's
Oh, wait,
what
well,
I'm.
he can't watch your sins away. So he must wash your sins away.
Okay, so I would get
There you go.
an ant on that.
You would have got an ant with watch.
Yeah.
You would have got an ant.
Okay. So
Right.
okay, so so you do gospel as well.
Right. We haven't touched on gospel, but I that's, how can I say, we're definitely looking to do that. Definitely, because we have a different game. I want to say we're at our 14th or 15th game now.
Mhm.
And we've done, oh geez, we've done songs just like basic categories, as you could say, your 90s, your 80s, your old school, your new school, hip hop, house, you name it. We've done a lot of things, but we haven't done gospel yet. But you know what? Easter Sunday, right?
Mhm.
So we definitely have to do gospel. Probably do it for the Mother's Day one, because we do, that is in May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely do it for the Mother's Day.
I have another song. Remember Murphy's Law?
Murphy's Law, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I always say, bless his heart. Is it like the woman says, "Mama gonna get you that baby," and it's like, bless his heart.
Okay, those are entirely the wrong lyrics.
No. It,
Got it all together, don't you, baby? Murphy's Law, sure out to get you.
oh,
So
okay.
you have to know. You have to know the lyrics.
Okay.
But you know what? But yeah, so if it's one of those things where, like, let's say, for instance, let me see if I can think of a song.
Okay.
Let's see here. Trying to think of some. Let's say,
I know.
Louise.
I
Maybe
know.
you can think of something quicker than I can.
Earlier, you talked about the "Come On, Sexy Mama."
Yeah. But you know what?
What?
I don't know all the lyrics to that song.
Oh, okay. I know the one is like, "I can get your drawers good and funky." That's the only.
Right.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, but you know what? That's not the one I was. Let's just
okay.
say, let's just say Al Green, right? So you say, here I am, baby. Cut it off.
Come and get it done. Dun, dun.
See, and I'm trying to think.
Here I am, baby. Dun, dun, dun. come and get you. Here I am, baby.
Right. See, and I'm not certain if it's come and get you or come and get me. See, but we will find out next time on Ain't That Jam. See,
What?
but go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go
Oh,
ahead.
that's one thing we do make sure to do is go back and check those lyrics because it was okay. Let me tell you, Isley Brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Smooth Selling Tonight, right?
Yes.
I had no idea what he was saying. Say nothing but smooth sailing tonight, and you say okay, and then we cut it off. What's the rest of the lyric?
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know.
Okay, here it is. Anything that you want from me is my delight tonight. I had no idea. Like that was just like what I'm like, because I've been singing anything that you want from
Nothing but
me
smooth
is
sailing.
mine tonight, right? Or something like that. I would say something completely different. But you learn so much about the song, you'd be like, wow, really? That's the lyric they went with? Or and so we always have to fact check because we don't want to get it wrong if we're doing the game.
Brick House.
Brick House?
Brick
You
House.
asked me about stuff I haven't even gone back to check on.
Well, I get the measurements wrong because I was
Oh wow.
it is because they go like, is it 34, 28, 40, 46? She's a brick
I'm about to
house.
bring out my phone and Google.
I mean, that's it.
I said 24, 36.
Is it 24, 36, 30,
36,
24,
36.
36?
I think he calls on the numbers twice. And he said 36 in the top and 36 in
Yeah, I mean,
and
they're
24 in the
going by
middle, something like
the
that.
measurements of the woman they're describing is like,
Right.
is it like 30,
I
36?
think they talk in hourglass shape. So maybe it's 30, 36, 24, 36.
Okay, I know I will lose that game.
Right. But you may not. You may not. Like it like I say, like we've done it. Oh, let me just say we've also hosted it at Pal's Barbershop, and on the over on wow, it's so funny on 63rd near Racine.
Mhm.
And it was one guy who's a contestant, and I mean, shout out to Lo on this one. He didn't do anything the first two parts of the rounds, right? The first round, second round, he was like, "Oh, I don't know about this game. I don't like it. I'm not winning." And then we got to the categories for finish that lyric, and he went through Jay-Z like a pro, and he won the game. And so it's like you never know what you do know until you like, oh wow, I do know this. Oh wow, I do know those lyrics because one thing I think is so great about music and has been shown is that even for persons who have Alzheimer's, if you don't remember anything else, you remember that music. It really touches the soul. So that's one thing that it's really fun to see, and it's really fun to get the memory going and people jog to say, "Oh my goodness, yeah, I haven't heard that song in years, but I still remember the lyrics," or "I haven't heard that song in a while, but I still remember who made it just based on their name." It's just it's very entertaining in that way.
So, how did you introduce this concept to the masses of people? I know
Wow.
how you like, oh, this is going to be fun. Everybody,
Yeah, you know what? That's the thing. It's one of those things where people are like, oh, it seems nice, but a lot of people are so worried about not getting it right. And it's not about getting it right, it's about having fun. And so you say, come on, you can do it. Come on. Oh, I don't know. And then they get into it. And I mean, they're on a roll and they mad because they didn't buzz in the next buzzer. And they're like, I know that one. And it's just like they become so enthralled with it. So it's funny because when you first put it out there, everybody feels like they're, I don't know, like they're about to go to the doctor's office or the dentist or something. And they're like, I don't know, they're real reserved. But once they get into it, it's just like all these songs that they haven't heard from and new stuff they're not even acquainted with. If you said, oh yeah, that new one by 21 Savage. Most people be like, oh no, I wouldn't want to hear that. But then it's like, but yeah, if you mix it in with a bunch of other songs and you say, oh yeah, and plus that one by the OJs. Okay, got a little bit of old and new. You're mixing it all together, and now you have a conglomerate of
now you
peoples.
got, I got one. People around the world join hands.
Okay,
Love Train.
okay.
Love Train. The lyric.
You just said it. Like,
No,
what, people around the world join hands,
join
get on a
hands,
love train,
get
love
on
train.
love train. What is that? People get on board on that love train. Yeah.
That was people all over the world.
Oh,
Join hands.
see, there's another one that I would
Oh Lord.
give.
But you know what? I will tell you this much. If you really want to find out,
Right.
you gotta come to name that jam. If you come to it and you'll see, oh wow, I do know some things. Oh wow, the music isn't gone.
But what about, okay, a lot of people think the lyric is like, for all these years, like I've named some,
Hmm.
even with gospel music, of what they're saying, but that's not actually correct. Did you find that out?
Yes, we do. We do our fact checking. We make sure we give you the right answers. So it's like say for instance, what can I think of right off top? Okay, the big debate about the guy song.
The what?
Piece of My Love, right?
Okay.
Everybody questions, well, what did he say? And everybody thinks it's a cuss word. And it's like, well, he says it's not. And then when you go back and you listen to it, you say, oh, okay, maybe he didn't say. But I believe he says baby, baby. And everybody says, no, he says dumb. And then uses a cuss word. And it's like, well, they would have played it on the radio, especially in the 80s during that time.
Hmm.
But we fact check, we go back and find out and say, hey, well, what was that lyric? Baby, baby. It's not the cuss word.
There was one guy song called "I Like." It's
Mhm.
like, what you do to me. I
Mhm.
like something ecstasy. You
Right.
bring back ecstasy, or you give me ecstasy.
Okay. I haven't fact checked that song, so I cannot tell you. But
Baby,
but
come
speaking
on.
of which, I'm so glad you
Yeah.
said it. Now, so here's what I gotta say. April 25th, Heritage Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have we're gonna here are what I finished the lyric category is gonna be, so I can tell you that much.
Okay.
Okay, it's gonna be Tony Braxton. So what we're gonna have is 12 songs of Tony Braxton's 12 lyrics.
So they got to brush up on their Tony
Yeah, brush up
Braxton.
on your Tony Braxton.
Okay.
We have Guy, brush up on your Guy.
Okay.
We're also gonna
Are
have
you gonna do like
what's that?
one of Aaron Hall
By himself?
by
No, because
himself?
here's the thing of it. Now, this is where the challenge comes from for knowing the music, because if we're not going to put anybody that doesn't have a strong catalog. So if you are not, if the let's say for instance, some of the more current singers, right? So let's say for instance, her. I love her. Her is great, right? But her doesn't have 12 songs that I could say the general population would know right now. Now maybe later on down the line, they might be, oh yeah, we know her and everything. Versus say, I
Is
could
that the one that's always like
kind of incognito. You kind of say
yeah,
you kind of
that
don't every blue moon, right?
that boo song?
No, 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 no.
No.
That's LMA. That's LMA. LMA, as her time comes, she'll have more of a repertoire as well. But
Okay.
no, her did the song with Daniel Caesar and what did she make the oh geez, what song is that? Focus. That's the song by
Okay.
her. Yeah. But let's say for instance, but we do have elements of new artists such as her and LMA in our game. So let's say for instance, not everybody may know who they are, but come in that jam, you can see the element of them put in there and still have maybe still hear songs like from Diana Ross to Shaka Khan, and you'd be like, oh wow. Not saying that these ladies are all in the same, but just to say different generations of music.
Wouldn't you be surprised if somebody like a male knows all the lyrics to "I'm Coming Out"?
Not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. And we would probably keep the song going so everybody can just jump up and dance. I mean, yeah. So no, it wouldn't. But see, then again, you never know because maybe moms was sweeping the house and cleaning on Sunday, and he always heard it. And he was like, "Oh, that's my song too." As you
But
grow up, you can't
do
help
you
it.
do Temptations as well?
Temptations, Four Tops, you name it. Yeah. So we
Mhm.
we have a Motown. Like I would say, let's say for instance, with the first two categories, you have like was it 6 different categories of music? So whether it be house, Motown, et cetera, it's all there. But we just have different artists for each one. And so it works out pretty well. I mean, as far as like being able to have a variety, we try to not keep it. Definitely try not to limit ourselves.
Okay, it's going to be difficult for house music because it's mainly instrumental.
You'd be
It's
surprised.
like, okay, let's say for example, talking about house, dun dun music,
Mm-hmm.
dun 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 dun.
Right,
Oh, okay,
right.
move your body.
Hmm. But you wouldn't finish the lyric on that. What you would
Okay,
have to know with house songs, because there are, let's say, for instance, Jamie Principle, right?
yeah,
Jamie Principle actually has a pretty strong catalog of music, right? So we could
right.
actually, if we wanted to, we could feature him as a finish that lyric artist, especially since he does sing, right?
Hmm.
So, but let's say, for instance, Frankie Knuckles. You may know some Frankie Knuckles songs, but you may not. So it's just kind of like he wouldn't be put in the finish that lyric. He'd be put in, um, name that jam or name that artist. And so you would say, "Oh, I'm hearing the whistle song. Who is that by? Oh, that's Frankie Knuckles, right?"
Hmm.
So that's how you would balance that all the way out.
So, as an entrepreneur breaking into the gaming industry, do you find it hard to get people on board with your idea? I mean, where you see this game for the next 5 years or so?
Right now, you know what? How can I put it? We've thought of different concepts of how to make it where we can bring it home. So people can just go ahead and purchase it and take it home and play it at home, similar to like the Jeopardy game or something like that. But we're still in the process of that one. As far as right now, we have our two home bases that we go to showcase the game, but we've also had people just say, "Hey, I have an event going on, I have a party. We would love you all to come out," and so on and so forth. So we've done those as well. Um, so it's not one of those things you can just go to the store and buy. One of the people that came out was like, "Where can I get this? I know you have it in the store already." And I'm like, "No, we don't have it in the store already. We got the copyrights. We don't have it in the store already. We have all that wonderful Congress stuff, but we don't have it in the store already." So
So
yeah.
this concept will work in barbecues, all the
Oh
outings and
yeah.
stuff like that. So how can someone like make it work in a barbecue setting
Oh, well,
or
you know
something?
what? When you think about it, and particularly you know, our coming togethers, we always have music, right?
Hmm.
So there's always going to be somebody who's either the family DJ or something like that, and you could just, I mean, the most you would have to do is probably set up a screen and then go ahead and have your little box ready and just click it and have your contestants and everything. It's not as troublesome as it may seem, but you can pretty much take it anywhere you want to, and just everybody plays and have fun.
Or just invite you guys out and do it.
Well, we would probably be best because it does take some time, and you would have to, let's how you put it. Yeah, you would have to create the game yourself, and it's kind of like not too many people willing to do that like that. So well, I'll just say, oh, let me take the time to get all 50 or 80 categories together. I think by the time I'm done with everything, each game, I'm about probably like 300 frames in or something like that. Who's going to take the time to put all that out there? I'm the type of person where I always like to keep the music fresh on top of that. So I'm not going to keep giving the same game over and over again. It's going to be something new. But
Okay.
yeah, so like I said, but we're working on that right now as far as being able to purchase it. And I don't want it to be cumbersome. Like I'm not looking to sell like the next video game console or anything like that. So it would be something that's very easy to take with you, very easy to go ahead and play wherever you are, as long as you have electrical hookups and such. An outage, you should be able to make it happen.
Okay, how can people get a hold of you? They like the concept, where they can
Certainly.
I was about to say purchase the game, but
Still in
they
the process,
it's
right? Still
still
in
in
the
the
process.
process, but
Yeah.
to get a hold of you to come out to the outings and stuff like that.
Indeed, indeed. We can be reached at, I want to say the best place to go would probably be name that jam Chicago at gmail.com. That would be, I'm saying it because I have to remember it. But name that jam Chicago. Name that jam Chicago at gmail.com. And also, we also on Facebook the same way, name that jam Chicago. And on Instagram as well, Name That Jam Chicago. Name That Jam Chicago on Facebook, you get a chance to see a lot more updates on the upcoming shows and get a little hint on what our next genre is going to be. So, like, our next genre is like 90s. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
my genre right
You gotta
there.
come on through. Yeah,
Yeah,
April 25th. Yes,
yeah. You want to come through, Earl? Yeah.
check it
Okay.
out. Yeah.
Me and Earl,
Okay.
head to head.
Please
I'm gonna
do.
kick his butt.
1849 East 79th Street, the Heritage Cafe.
Okay.
Yep.
So see, it's not that bad.
Not that bad. I sweat a little bit, but I'm okay.
Okay, but you're more than welcome. We have a Facebook page called Black Products and Black Services and Black Events. Since you've been on the Drive at 5, you
Thank
can
you.
advertise as much as you want, courtesy of our executive producer, Earl
Will do.
Winfrey. As
Okay.
long as you want, we'll hook you up with that after the show. That's going to do it for us on the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeartRadio station. Thanks to Earl Winfrey, our executive producer, Wanda, who's behind the scenes. I'll see you guys next week.